Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about a book called The Heavens Are Open, written by Wendy W. Nelson.
Chapter 2. Focus on what is important. How do we spend our time here on Earth? So when it comes to focus on our time, it says that we are the ones that are responsible for our time, and we need to use this time well. So she's talking about not wasting it. How do you feel about this? What is important in your life, and how do you spend it well?
Well, for me, I like to write music. I haven't done it in a time, and I feel it's really calling to me, so it's something I need to schedule in. Because by doing the things that I love, like doing the pod, writing the pod, recording the pod, but also the music, it makes me use my voice. And in order for me to use my voice, I get to think about things that are important to me and topics that I'd like to learn more about. And as I do that, I also have this music that I listen to always and forever that helps me to get into the vibration that I receive a lot of downpours and downloads. And so being in that state helps me to heighten my frequencies in order to receive more from heaven, more inspiration, more thoughts and aha moments. And I tell you all the time that some of my best ideas come from when I'm out in the woods, just walking in the nature and calling you and talking to you on the phone. Because for me, it works like I say the sentence out loud, and before I finish it, I get the answer in my head. So I start saying something and then it just answers itself. And so I answer it in the next breath. And a lot of those downloads and ideas I get when I'm out in the nature and I'm talking to you. And a lot of that is just me sitting there writing with the music on my headphones and just being one with the music. It just opens me up. And so I like to be in that state when I feel close to the veil, when I feel close to the universe, and when I'm a ready vessel for whatever they want to tell me.
Sometimes, she says, things happen in our lives, which is kind of like an alarm bell. And things that are like alarm bells in our lives, and they can call us to change or to adapt, put things right, improve ourselves, repent, to reconsider what is important, to patch together, reform, look over, or start again our lives. Have you had any alarm bells in your life?
Yes, the divorce was a big alarm bell for me. It totally made me take a look at the life I've lived so far and see what I needed to change in order to move forward. It was huge, it was irrevocable, it was life-changing, and I wouldn't be where I am today without it. And so I'm very humbled by it, and it was heart-wrenching. But still again, it was empowering. I felt strong and I felt empowered by everything that I had to go through and overcome. And so I think we get those small and big alarm bells in our life in order for us to grow and see our potential. Because we are put on this earth to become divine. But we don't become divine overnight. I talk about this in another episode. We're works in progress, and we're supposed to take it one step at a time. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
So Wendy also talks about how do you know when a message comes from above? Well, she has been gathering some insights during the year, and the first thing that she said is that when she gets expressions that come to me that is very different from how I usually express myself, then I need to be more aware. Or if I really clearly remember where I was when I heard or felt this spiritual message, then it was more likely that it was the Holy Ghost speaking to me. Or if I'm getting humbled, like the message is maybe not what I wanted to hear, then I'm pretty sure that the message was from the Lord and it's not my own thoughts. Or if the message also corresponds with truth that has been discovered from the scriptures or the living prophets, then she says that she can trust it. And I know that you had some conversations in your mind and revelations to you. How do you know when it's somebody else and not your own thoughts?
That is something what I said, that when I'm out in the woods walking, I say the sentence out loud and the answer comes mid-sentence. I start talking and then I just get the answer instantaneously. Or I hear something and it just gives me the shivers. I just feel it, a shiver down my spine, or I get goosebumps. Then I know it's a confirmation that this message is for me, or I need to hear this. I also believe that if I'm in a state or a feeling of gratitude and love, then it's easier for me to detect the answers, to hear the answers, because I'm in such a high state that the veil gets thinner. If you're interested in that kind of thing, Aaron Doughty, he's a YouTuber and a potter that talks a lot about frequencies and vibrations, and that different feelings and emotions have different frequencies, and love and gratitude and acceptance and ascension is high up on that list. So the higher I am on that list and the higher frequencies I have in my body, the easier it is for me to discern what the message is and where it's from. But in the end, it's a very personal experience. It's me, how I work. You need to figure out how you best work, how you best communicate, how you best understand. What are the tools that you need in order to decipher the messages that come to you? It's for me a very personal experience. And it's also practice makes perfect. It comes bits and pieces. Like where I was 2 years ago, I was in such a bad state. I was so sad, depressed, hurt, angry. It's a really hard place to be in order to get any kind of inspiration. You need to put your body in a good state, but then again you need to practice and practice and practice, which means to ask and then be quiet in order to receive. Because the world we live in right now, it's so much noise all around us. We get the cell phones and it's a busy world with buses and cars, and it's just never quiet enough in your brain, your mind, in order to understand and hear that small voice. And so it's important to practice, and to practice to listen, and to practice to search for answers, and then look for the signs of confirmation. Like for me, it's a shiver down my spine, or some goosebumps, or just the fruit of the spirits. Peace, calmness, love. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.